Hello, welcome back to Tearaway Unfolded. This is Enchanted, and today we'll be playing through some of one of my favourite levels of this whole game. This is about where the game starts really picking up when it comes to how it tells its story, and I really like it for that. Once we've grabbed a few little things from these little bouncy pads, because they're just quite fun. I also like these guys who seem to be kind of studying little confetti pieces as well. And the fact that some of the trees, those little spinny things you see at playgrounds, is quite a cute little thing as well. Those are all things that only have like noughts and crosses or like dice printed on them. I also like the surprise ominous organ. That's quite a fun little touch. Kind of gives a bit of like horror hammer kind of vibes. It's quite a nice little foyer for the lab. So let's check in, shall we? So let's just cut to the chase, shall we? And go in the lab. I bet you're wondering what they're studying here. I think we're starting to get a little bit of an idea. Let's just give her a little colour back into her life, shall we? Let's just do a little bit of editing, just for a little bit of a laugh, really. Just messing around, really. My voice is still clipping a little bit. I'm going to be getting a new microphone in January, so that should sound a lot better in the future. So while we're in here, we will not be allowed to use our camera. I don't really try to, so I'm not really certain exactly what happens if you do try and press the button. It might just be disabled. But let's just start exploring this lab, shall we? Which is very Wonka-esque. It's got some very interesting decor, like all these little accordions everywhere. I wonder why they would be here. This is very interesting. I wonder what purpose these accordions serve. Besides making me bad at platforming. A strange light and some buttons. That's interesting. Wonder where they're going with that. I'm pretty sure the people are probably supposed to give you a bit of a hint on what to do, but it also seems a little obvious right now. But they're kind of always giving us a hint by turning out the lights. What other light sources could we possibly have? That line is why I'm thinking it might have skipped a little bit there. Because of the way it kind of came up a little bit after everything else. So yeah, it seems that these scientists, they appear to have found God. And by God, I mean us. So these are a new enemy type, the flying scrap. These are kind of fun because you just need to kind of trick them into charging into a wall to stun them, and that's quite a cute idea. You can also just throw stuff at them as well and do the usual thing. It's just, it's easiest to, also just quite fun right now just to have them slam themselves into walls. And we're here to learn that, so why not just play with it? Also, because the PS5 controller is a little bit more sensitive than the PS4 controller with its touchpad, I will accidentally end up throwing these guys into the U-World. Quite a lot, which is a little annoying because sometimes it results in me taking hits because it's not letting me do certain moves because it's already charging up a move, if you know what I mean. Because while you're actually holding something in the U-World, Artois can't pick anything up in the meantime. So let's start exploring the lab properly, shall we? Now we've had our little introduction. Oh dear. This could be a problem. Let's take care of it, shall we? You're welcome, sir. There's something I really like about this level is how it kind of starts playing into the idea of the meta-narrative. I mean, it's already been a story about stories, but this is really where it pushes itself in really fun ways. Yeah, these guys aren't flying, so you just have to kind of force them to jump off the thing. These are just normal little scraps. So we have a secret weapon to worry about. I wonder what this will entail. I mean, they've already discovered God. In a way. So what we need to do is blow some wind into this squeeze box. So let's use the touchpad to power it up, shall we? But this will have a side effect. So here's an interesting thing with this. I'm actually pressing the changing wind button. I'm swiping on the control pad, but it's not doing anything. They haven't just weaponized it. They've gone full Prometheus. They have stolen the wind from God, and that is awesome. I really love that idea. So now Artois has complete control over the wind. I mean, we still control her with the shoulder buttons and the analog stick and everything like that. The shoulder buttons are what make her blow and suck air and things. But for all intents and purposes, we can't do it ourselves with the thing. We have to have Artois do it for us now. She's in full control of the wind, which is a pretty cool idea, really. So here I have a bit of trouble figuring out where the objects come from. They're over there, but I'm an idiot, so... Yeah, I always really like that whole idea, though, that, like, the lab assistants and the scientists and stuff like that, they have studied reality so hard, they've figured out that there is a higher power, and they are not having it. They're like, oh, your power's so much higher, give it to us. That's a really fun idea. These are really cool scientists. So it's time to really play with the squeeze box, which is one of the most powerful weapons we have, because We can just do this, and it basically instantly kills any scrap that it gets hit by. I mean, there are certain enemy types that can't actually be affected by it, but most scraps, flying or walking, just get dealt with. They just get wrecked. Quite these little spinny platforms, they're quite fun. And I also quite like the music choice as well, because now we are equipped with an accordion. And this is also why the lab is full of accordions. They are studying the wind. And they've figured it out, enough to steal it from us. After tricking us into giving it to them, which is quite a fun little thing to do. And yeah, quite like that animation when you accidentally throw a scrap into the new world. That's quite funny. But yeah, that fan's going to be like an optional thing we can use to lure the scraps into, but right now we don't have anything we can lure into it because it's just these little bouncy guys that are immune to everything but being jumped on. I quite like the really jaunty music here as well. Yeah, with that little border, we can't actually pick anything up, which is why I'm having so much trouble here, because if you accidentally fire a scrap into the screen like that, it can cause issues, because, again, it thinks you're trying to use the thing where you shoot it back from the U-World, when I'm really not, so that can get a little annoying. But notice the diagram. Not just studying the wind here. Gone a lot further than that. I'm pressing the square button right now. They're siphoning the buttons themselves. And this is where things are going to get fun when it comes to platforming. When I figure out where the button we're looking for is. It's right there, and I'm an idiot because I accidentally pressed the wrong button and blew it off. But because I'm struggling, they're kind of going to give me the answer. And whoops, hit the barrier. So you can shoot it into the U-World and then shoot it back out. And now this is tricky because when we jump, the X depresses. So we kind of need to be careful there, and we have to figure out how to navigate that, which is quite fun. Yeah, they've noticed how we're controlling things. And they're trying to get a little bit of that going themselves too. They just haven't quite worked out the nature of the controller yet. They're trying. They're getting closer. You just haven't quite worked it out. It's basically cargo cult buttons right now, because they're not really in any places that make any real logical sense. Apart from, as a game mechanic. I wonder if that's intentional. Quite a little bounce as well when you launch yourself off a button, it's quite fun. Yeah, this puzzle took me a little bit of time because I keep using the wrong type of wind. You may notice each thing is doing something to the other fan, but I haven't quite worked out what it's actually doing. Partially because I'm having a bit of trouble with it. You actually have to do is, I'm kind of sucking right now without realizing it. What you really have to do is make the fans blow like this, and that raises the walkway. Just took me a while to work that out. Now let's make a bit more room. There we go. Some more scraps showing up. That's concerning. So, the next episode, of course, we'll see how much further things go with this very Promethean situation of them stealing our wind. So I'll see you next time as we complete the lab. Goodbye.